There should be an adult hip hop. Don Toliver, A Boogie, Rowdy Rich. They're not rappers, and they're not R&B singers. And this is not a diss. If rock could have 5 different subgenres where they all get Grammy noms, why does that have so many sections and our genre doesn't? Why don't we put respect on our own genre?
It's easier to get crabs to fight when they're inside of a bucket. DIYers, there was a really interesting video that found its way across my desk, and it involves a gentleman here that goes by Punch. Not Punch from TDE, but this is Punch, who at one point had an opportunity to manage Tekashi 6ix9ine among folks. But from the research that I've done, he's somebody that's been a staple out there on the East Coast in the music industry. I think he presents a very valid argument for something that I've been kind of trying to figure my way around of how do you really do this? The this that I'm talking about is, should we be separating in this day and age music that is made by older rappers and call it like adult contemporary like other genres do, and then separate it from the younger artists? Why would you do that? I'm gonna let him kind of speak to that, and then we'll come back for more thoughts.
But let me bring up a point that I think is super valid, right? I know we got a lot of time on this clock, but I don't like that they categorize Don Toliver, A Boogie, Rowdy Rich, and they cloud these guys as rappers. They're not rappers. And they're not R&B singers. And this is not a diss. I think that we should make a genre for the people who do that. Young Blue. They are not R&B artists. They are not rappers. Why is it that our genre of hip hop continues to underserve our own music? Why don't, like how there's a soft rock, hard rock, alternative rock, contemporary rock, and regular pop rock? Why does that have so many sections and our genre doesn't? Why don't we put respect on our own genre? Why don't we have what that would be? I
like this line of thinking because it once again is progressive. I love to see these conversations be had because there's a domino effect when this is created. I love it. I'm gonna let them cook some more.
I don't know, wave rap, whatever it becomes. I am not trying to name it. You get what I mean? Melody rap, however. But why don't we have one? Because calling A Boogie a rapper is unfair. If A Boogie puts out the record of his life and Kendrick puts out the record of his life, that they're in the same category. That's insulting to both of them.
Like a Tootsie. Like, yeah.
This is not, they are not, this. I could go on and on and on. I just named the guys who came straight to my head.
Yeah.
These guys are not rappers and they're not R&B singers. And I hate that I'm an artist. Shut up. Everybody's a fucking artist. Everybody's an artist. The type of artist that you are should be, we should give them a genre though. And we should put respect on their talent. We need to respect it and give them a genre. They should not only get a genre, they should get a Billboard chart. They should not only get a Billboard chart, they should get a Grammy category. And all the other award shows should follow.
See, what I love so much about this point, let me go ahead and give the bomb for this. That's crazy. What I love so much about this is that it kind of counters a point that Gilly the Kid was making when he was talking on his podcast to French Montana about Killer Mike won the Grammy for Best Rap Album for Michael. And he was kind of like irritated by it, by like, man, leave that for the young niggas, I think is what he said. We had a video about it. He was like, man, it shouldn't be no old heads that win that award. And it's like, first of all, that messaging sounds crazy because Killer Mike put out a phenomenal album. And it's not a phenomenal album in spite of the people that were in the category with him, like a Travis Scott. It's not in spite of that. It's that this happened to be a different body of work. Well, if we're having these issues, maybe the issue is not trying to get an older rapper to stop rapping. Maybe the issue is they're miscategorizing it. And maybe there should be a genre that is more focused on the youth movement in mainstream rap. Maybe there should be an adult contemporary or adult rap genre so that these type of conversations do involve the Killer Mikes, a Jay-Z, a Nas, eventually a Kendrick Lamar. Like, it makes sense so that we're not pegging black people that make music against each other.
Because we are doing a disservice to both sides of the art. For the Don Toliver that's in the rap, he's hurting the rappers, and he might lose because someone might have went off on Rap Time. Like, all of those artists, they're all gonna lose. They're gonna give Kendrick Not Like Us the damn rap record of the year. It's
Facts.
done. Pack it up already. You get what I mean? It's gonna happen. The Grammy board loves him. So everybody that does harmony, melodic rap is done. Pack it up. Why? They should have their own category. The same way that Grammys just initiated that there's an Afrobeat category, we need to name this genre. and we need to implement it immediately and start putting more respect on our genre. And these are the shits that I want clipped up, because this is the gold. This is the real. Like, this is the gold where it goes, why don't we respect our genre? If rock can have 5 different subgenres where they all get Grammy noms and they all get charts and they all get, why is it that this is not, why is Roddy Ricch having to compete with the same exact chart as Meek Mill?
Somebody gonna have to tell the truth, and I'm gonna tell it.
Cause y'all all just niggas that rap. Feel like Uncle Ruckus. Y'all all just rap. Ain't y'all all just rapping? All of y'all is the same shit. That's the energy we're talking about. That's why it pisses me off to the highest levels of bitchivity. That's the way they view it. I'm joking, but that's the way they view it. Their actions show that's the way they view it. That's insane.
It's insane.
Thank you.
I never even thought about that.
No one does, because we don't put enough respect on our genre.
That's-
You want to know what else should happen? And I'm going to be the first ones to really say this. There should be an adult hip hop.
So what would be the kid hip hop? Just give me 2 different.
Not
artists.
kid, just an adult hip hop and regular hip hop.
I'm going to let him cook. These are the progressive conversations we need to hear. These are the kind of conversations that may not seem like much. Because I look at this video, it came out 9 days ago. It's 163 views, and I'm not sitting here trying to clown or trying to say that views validate anything, but it's these conversations. I'm going to go ahead and share the link. Here's the video. It's these conversations that plant seeds that change behavior. And I'm using my platform hoping that these are things that people can now, who are in power, who watch my video content, because I know they watch, can at least bring to the table. Can we have a separate place? Can the chart system be divided into something different? Can we stop saying a 45, 50-year-old rapper fell off because they can't compete in the same genre in which the demographic skews so differently? Would we view the success of a album by, I want to use the Nas, because Nas had he had good commercial success with his Hit Boy albums, but would we view some of these albums by independent rappers that are like legacy artists, franchise artists, will we view it differently if they were #1 in their category? I think we would. I think we'd have a lot more respect in general about the way that we talk about their numbers, because we're not going to put them up against someone who is pushed by a machine that only cares about numbers. These are thoughts we got to talk about.
If Jay-Z drops tomorrow, Jay-Z should not be competing with Ice Spice.
That's hard.
Why is Nas on the same chart as 310 Baby? 310 Baby graduated high school yesterday.
Sheesh.
It was on the internet. Left, right, baby, let's do it.
Yeah.
How the fuck is he on the same chart that if Too Short dropped tomorrow, Too Short has to compete with a kid who just finished chemistry homework? There need to be an adult hip hop. And that's the problem. You want to get really deep right now? Yo, bro, I beg of you, clip this up. Like, for real. That's a part of the Flex problem. You want to know why Flex was going at me? It's because he was scared of his spot. He's scared of his spot because he's like, there's a nigga running so fast, he's going to take my spot. But the problem is that Flex goes, there's one spot. There shouldn't be. He's an icon. He should have graduated. But where does he graduate to? Why can't Noriega drop a new song? Why can't Snoop Dogg drop a new song? Why can't Jay-Z, Nas, Styles P? Why can't they drop new songs? Because they don't want to be competing with these kids and putting out an album and be like, Sheik Luch does this amount. It's not fair. They're not even aiming for the same demographic.
But in all fairness, you are right. I love this. But we are seeing people like Killer Mike be in positions where you can win. You're
Killer
older.
Mike won at the Grammys. Killer Mike did not win to the masses. His records are nowhere. The people are not playing it. They're not in the club. They're not getting embraced by the younger demographic. Killer Mike's record got highlighted by the music curators of what the Grammy board is, which is all salute to Killer Mike.
This conversation is not about changing just the traditional music industry. We're going to start some shit. The same way I've been raising fucking hell the last 8 months for streaming. A lot of things have changed because of these videos. We're living in a different time. So when I bring these up, I'm not bringing these up as entertainment. I promise you that. I don't want to waste nobody's time in here. I'm not bringing these up as entertainment. I'm bringing these up because I have a lot of influential eyes on me right now, especially in the last few days. Go check Say Cheese. Go check Revolt TV. I have no PR, by the way. Go check No Jumper. Go check all of these different platforms. Content that I made 2 years ago is now surfacing on there, and they're crediting me for it. Don't underestimate these conversations because we're seeing it from the vantage point of somebody else having a bigger platform. We will be the difference. if they don't want to shift fast enough, we'll address things in a different way. And matter of fact, what we'll do is have these conversations that take away the power that these platforms once had, the billboards. I believe there's something here that can change. Maybe it doesn't change the Billboard charts tomorrow, but maybe it changes it for the way that we view the Billboard charts.
That's like the highest form of recognition when it comes to music, right?
I mean, to an extent. I don't want to just put Grammys as the almighty over our culture, but yes, it's one of the highest forms of acknowledgement. But the problem is that Killer Mike, when he won it, they made it so much about age. You shouldn't give up. You shouldn't do this. Why? He should not be competing with this.
So
he should be with his peers.
That says more about Killer Mike, I guess.
I mean, yeah, sure. It's an amazing project. Nothing is wrong with the project.
No, I'm saying like him winning says more about him than it does of the industry not having this.
Yeah, and people love Killer Mike. He's been advocating for it. You promo. You do a lot of things to get a Grammy Award.
He shouldn't be competing in that anyway.
No, he shouldn't at all. Like, if I'm telling you, I just want this to just be clear as day. If Scarface dropped tomorrow, Bun B decided to put out a record tomorrow with E40, I do not think in any shape or form that he should be on the same chart as 4-1, Cash Cobain.
I agree.
It's insanity. We're the only people that treat our genre like this. There should be an adult hip hop.
So, I think he made a lot of valid points in this. I'll share the video with you. I'm going to start doing this as a habit. E40 just turned 56. E40's still spazzing. E40's still rapping like Rennis do. You can't tell me nothing about what's going on with all these artists that are sounding reinvigorated. Another one of those artists that I think are sounding really reinvigorated right now is Common with Pete Rock. I haven't seen Common on any kind of a press run like this in a long time, family. And I've been a hip hop head for a long time. But him and Pete Rock are here on 92.3 on the Cruise Show, and Common and Pete Rock share their thoughts on today's hip-hop. Pete Rock says today's hip-hop is missing realness and rappers making rap lyrics that people can understand. These conversations are happening on very large platforms, and they're doing numbers because people want something different, even if it's just an alternative.
How do you feel about hip-hop today, man, as the gods?
I feel like, the only thing that's missing is the realness of the music and making lyrics that people could really understand.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? I mean,
and that resonate.
You can make fun records and you can make the little simple rap joints.
That's hip hop too, though.
Yeah, you got to really speak on reality too.
It is. It's like the ill thing is like, cause I be listening to a lot of like just hip hop, but definitely in the '90s is where my head is stuck. And it was, some of the songs was very simple, but it just, to me, it's all about the spirit of the music. Like, where is it coming from?
Yeah.
And there's some young artists that's coming with dope stuff. That's coming from the love of the music. Like, I can tell the difference in the artists that like that of a new generation that actually listened to hip hop from before.
From the 90s.
I can tell the difference. You can hear it in the quality and the standard that they have. No matter what style it is, you could just tell that they know the art form of hip hop.
Sure.
And I think and point blank, it's been dope. The battle was dope. Like the Drake Kendrick battle added to the culture of
Look, it keeps getting brought up not just because it's a hot topic, because these artists that are currently on, I'm giving you perspective as an artist. I can hear it in their voice as an artist to artist. They see a golden opportunity right now. Think about how many TikToks that are out right now from Gen Zers that are breaking down the Easter eggs in a music video. When is the last time we cared this much about imagery within a music video? Well, artists do this all the time. Those who are art enthusiasts care about this stuff all the time. When was the last time you saw folks sitting down and breaking down double and triple entendres and, oh, did you catch this one? And having these long-winded conversations, even if it's arguments about lyricism. You got to understand, artists like Common, who have been here for many different eras and have seen a time where, man, when he did the corner and the corner was up, when he did the light and it was up, he's seen it go through that time period, and he's seen it go through where he had to do the go, 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 go. He's found ways to kind of exist in this space, but I'm sure at some point he had to be a little bit discouraged about the way that things were being embraced in terms of rap and mainstream. So to see this moment right now, while he's releasing a project that he says is one of the best from his catalog, they see something is shifting right now. You know how I view the major label ecosystem? A haunted house with a long line. Also in this haunted house, you see an exit where people are walking out of this mansion. They look depleted, but yet and still, people want to find out for themselves.
God bless him. Hero. Pack. I don't want to hear about your rich ass problems. That shade room, day room, rumor filled gossip. You knew what you were getting into, we gotta be honest. Ray Charles can tell you that this industry is toxic. I ain't have to go inside the house to know it's haunted. I just peeked it from the back door like there go the zombies. Drugged up, strung out, just put them on a podcast. I know they promised you the world, and they never called your ass back. Now give us dirty laundry on the labels like a year ago you wasn't in there dancing on the table. Posting on the gram like it's about to be a movie, well I guess it went to Tubi. We in the era where niggas is using AI for real beef. And you don't know if Chick-fil-A is still cooking up with real meat. I'm in the Oculus flying above Seal Beach, and that's still cheaper than the gas up the street.
Do it for yourself, cause it's you versus everybody. You versus everybody, do it for yourself, but it ain't.
Of hip hop, and like, to me, it's hip hop is in a thriving spot because you have all these young artists doing their thing, and now you having people like Pete Rock and I dropping albums, and you know what Nas is gonna do with Primo, or you know LL and Q-Tip, but you know we all got our own things. I ain't gonna try to put us exactly in the same like category, but it's good to hear that you can actually evolve in the art form and make new music and make it fresh.
Absolutely.
Just carry that soul.
I think there's a lot of artists today like Simba. J.I.D.'s crazy.
Yeah.
Shout out to Simba. Shout out to
Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar to me is one that would, in any generation, is one of the greats. Just in any generation,
100%.
he just point blank is one of the greats. I like Earl Sweatshirt. I like I like it's some dope
Joey
artists out there.
Yeah, Joey's my guy. For sure.
You love to see it. You love to see it because what this is showing you is that where there once existed, I would say it's more created by the traditional industry, where there once existed this weird sort of at odds energy of old versus young. Right? You could even find deeper roots in with our folks when it comes to like the Willie Lynch letter and how they were pitting old slaves versus young slaves, light ones versus dark. There's a lot of that stuff that still finds its way even into today's modern conversation. And when I see Common say what a lot of his peers his age are not going to say, he said Kendrick will be one of the greats in any era. That to me shows that a lot of these OGs are not only embracing, but they're seeing the opportunity that they will not be aged out, and they don't have to pretend to like stuff they don't like so that they don't get called the old man, right? They get to speak in as much authenticity and love for the craft as they can, as they want to. I love it. I love it. I love it. So Common mentioned LL, and oddly enough, LL is talking about the conversation around age and hip hop. This is all tied together still to the main topic of should rap have an adult subgenre.
A lot of times, and it's understandable, artists get scared. They get intimidated by the moment. They get intimidated by the changing of eras. They get intimidated by new successful artists. They get intimidated by all of these various dynamics. Where will I fit in? You don't have to. You already have your spot. It's solidified. What you have to do is keep making great contributions to the culture through your art. And just, if one project doesn't work or it's not as commercially successful, you ain't gotta like implode and melt down. Just get back to the drawing board and work on your craft. You know what I mean?
Man, he killed this song he got here. It sounds so youthful. His energy sounds so vibrant right now as he's rapping on that verse. And I think a lot of that has to do with, one, the time we're living in, but also being able to be around artists that are younger, that have an infectious energy that you can build off of. Man, first of all, shout out to my guy DJ Head on his new platform and show with Gina Views. I've never met Gina Views, but I feel like I know her based upon all the content that I've watched over the years. They had an opportunity to sit down with Jason Martin, also known as Problem. Absolutely a staple out here on the West Coast. He's talking in this section here about, as he was doing collaboration work with another legend in the game, DJ Quik. DJ Quik got to a place where he was ready to retire. Didn't even know about that. Never heard of that. And all it took was, he's going to explain the story, Jason Martin coming around and setting up his equipment at DJ Quik's spot for him to get that feeling back again.
Hey, but the actual album was an accident.
What you mean?
Yeah. He was retired. he was done. He had just bought a new house with some horse ranch shit in the back. He literally called me like, man, come check out the new house. It's by yours. I'm like, all right, well, let me pack up my studio. He like, you got it? I said, I got it with me. He's like, bring it. So when I pulled over, he had all these plaques just kind of like, he just moving in, so they just kind of there. So he's like, man, set up right there if you want to kick it. He's making chicken. I started doing records. And then he's like, come back tomorrow. Then he's talking shit. Like, why the fuck are you still doing music, man? There's so much stuff we could be doing, man. Let's go here. Let's go on vacation. I'm like, we're doing music. Next day, I come back. Now he got a new mic out. I'm like,
So he sets up shop, if you didn't catch that. He sets up shop at Quik's mansion, pretty much like his retirement spot, right? Not saying he's of that age where he's like, retirement home. We're not saying that. I'm saying it's a spot where he has laid his plaques out and say, you know what? I think I'm ready to move on from music. This industry is, it is what it is. At this point, I think I'm just ready to just call it, you know what I'm saying? Make peace with that decision. This is what happens when Jason Martin sets up just a few pieces of equipment. He get that feeling, and he's like, "Now, I'm not trying to record nothing, but shit, I could just add a little microphone. That's it. I'm gonna just put the microphone and go to sleep." I love that because that's the way it happens for all of us. You can't get away from this shit, fam.
all right. Next day I come back. He got equipment attached to my equipment. He's like, if you're going to do it right. I'm like, all right. So then that next day I come back, and now he got verses on shit. He said, I woke up out of my sleep. I was hearing something he was doing.
Do you think you re-inspired him?
Let him tell it. Yeah, he said he was done. He said it was over. He didn't feel like doing it no more. It was other things he wanted to do. Jay Worthy was a big influence, though. It was the day he came over and kind of added a different energy to it. This album didn't happen without him. The way he was just getting features, branding ideas, the motivation, making sure it just kind of kept going. And we looked up 45 days later, we had this project and a whole lot of music.
When you came back to his house and it was verses on shit on your shit, right? His verses on your shit. What was the first conversation about it? Like, what was it?
You know me. That's right, nigga. Go up. Yeah, come on. Hop on all this shit.
Man, we need somebody like that in our corner, especially artists like myself. Like I said, I'm 39. I know you're probably sick of hearing it, but I say that to give you a little bit of context, in that this content space was very accidental in terms of this being the way that I'm finding success in this era of my career. But don't get it twisted. I'm still an artist, number one. I love this so much, and I love creating so much. But I know that there have been times in my career that if I'd not met, shout out to my guy, Oh Gosh Leotis, one of the most phenomenal producers I've ever met. Shout out to my guy, Navi. And had it not been for individuals like that, it's really easy to just like kind of get stuck in your rut. Being successful still doesn't do that. I've been on tour. I've been all these different places. But you get in that place where it's like, what's next? Then you meet somebody that is full of so much energy. And it's not about trying to siphon their energy. It's all about trying to learn from that vitality. Learn from like, okay, how do you kind of approach things from your generation? That right there will revitalize anybody who really, really loves this and reignite whatever flame has gone out. It'll also remind you why you fell in love with this when you see somebody who is very, you know what I'm saying, very early on in their journey, who has not been jaded by the politics of this industry. It's so important. I feel like that's what Jason Martin was for DJ Quik.
I'm a fan. I'm still a fan of everybody. Like everybody. I love when people are killing it. I love it. So for him to wake up out of his bed and be like, I heard a verse, it's like, oh, that's still DJ Quik.
Man, shout out to him sharing that story.
Freaky ass nigga, 69 guys.
Kendrick, he really is the boogeyman. He really is. I promise you. I got to program that better. It's not supposed to reactivate every single time I go to another channel. Let me make sure I don't go to this one too. Oh my gosh. It was just waiting in the corners. Okay, I got to make sure my scenes is okay. Oh my gosh. Whoo, I did not plan that right. You think I'm playing? I'm for real. It's great to see these progressive conversations happening because I think that we're starting to realize the biases of yesterday are not making sense for the progressiveness of today. We have progressed so far as human beings. We're having a lot of conversations that maybe you only used to have in very specific type of groups, right? They're becoming mainstream conversations, and you're starting to see people that you never would think would understand your movement, never think would understand your POV, share them in such articulate ways that now you're asking like, man, why don't we change these things? One of those being, why are we still being put in the same bucket? Because we all rap over kicks and snares. They don't do the same thing to rock. Rock has soft rock, has adult contemporary, has all these different genres. Why is rap so disrespected and just thrown in the same bucket? Well, if you ask me and my conspiracy theory spider senses are tingling, I'd say it's because it's intentional. It's easier to get crabs to fight when they're inside of a bucket.
Somebody's gonna have to tell the truth, and I'm gonna tell it.
It's easier to turn people into crabby behavior. It's easier to get them to be crabs when they're inside of a bucket. And they put us all in the same bucket. And there's no reason why artists, you know what I'm saying? There's no reason why we're talking about a Travis Scott versus a Snoop Dogg. There's no reason for that. A little Uzi Vert versus a Nas. No. I feel like we are making the biases of yesterday comfortable in the progressiveness of today. And I know we're not with that. I love hearing Punch say that, and I think that was very important for us to start thinking of it that way. And even if they don't want to change their things because they're stubborn and don't want to change with the times, cool. Maybe we start to think of it that way. Maybe we say that system is flawed, that ecosystem in itself needs changing, and we become the example of it. Maybe those of you that are family members and friends of rappers coming up, maybe instead of saying, what makes you think you're successful? When's the last time you was on this channel? Or when was the last time you got on this platform? Maybe instead of making those comparisons, you let that individual artist find success in their space and judge them appropriately in the space they're trying to grow within. Not everybody's trying to go after the same throne. This is not a monarchy. Hip hop is not a monarchy, but yet we think it's a one king rule. People are convinced it is. But I look at that and I say, I'm sorry, that's colonizer behavior. That is colonizer rule changing. To me, it benefits the traditional record business system if you believe there's somebody at the top. There's sponsorships that can get built because of that. There are relationships that can be nurtured because of that. There's so many benefits to believing there's somebody at the top. There's also benefits when you see that person at the top start to come down. Because look at all the media and look at these live streams I'm doing that are a part of that downfall. So I think it's best for us to start to either pressure them to change the way they categorize our music or say it's never supposed to be their job. That falls on us. Those are my thoughts though, DIYers. You let me know what you think. DIYers, if you enjoyed this content, make sure that you hit the like button and maybe even consider subscribing. Come on, man. Don't be greedy. Peace.